Hi, you guys. Lady Rochelle here, author and founder of Warriors Talk, where we move away from awareness towards action. This is day 17 of your 31 days of breast cancer awareness facts up until October 31st in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I am just so excited that we are on day 17. That lets me know that we are closer to the goal of the 31 days. And I trust that you have been learning some facts about breast cancer that you didn't know before. So tonight we're going to cover when someone you know has cancer. And so that particular fact is by now we all should have encountered someone that has been dealing with cancer, that's fought cancer, that you know personally. 1 in 2 males and 1 in 3 females will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. So we all know somebody who has been through cancer. When someone is going through cancer, what they'll do is sometimes they find the humor in what they're going through. And why do they do this? Because it releases some of the, the heaviness of the illness. They don't want to really think about it. So, sometimes it's good to have a good laugh. Some people may become withdrawn and isolated. They don't want to be bothered with anybody. They just want to be alone just so they can process that diagnosis. Some may become angry, sad, depressed, and not really knowing what to feel because they know that with cancer, there comes a lot of change. There's so much that goes on in your life with a cancer diagnosis that sometimes you don't even have time to sit back and just breathe. Some people may be grieving their body that they had before, that healthy image that they was once looking at, and now they know what's coming, or looking at their bald head, looking at the weight loss, looking at their dark skin, just looking at a frail body, looking sickly. So you grieve that. You grieve that. Some people may find it helpful just to stay hopeful, maintain hope in this situation, because what else is there to do? You can be depressed and you could just shrivel up and die, or you can pull out your boxing gloves and you can fight. So how important is it for a person with cancer, to work? It's important because work makes you, if you're able to work, it makes you feel, like, your self-worth, like you feel worthy. You feel like a sense of security because you're able to take care of yourself and you don't have to worry about somebody doing it for you. So it can boost your self-esteem, definitely, if you're working. How can cancer affect a person's financial situation? Now, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about, knowing someone that has cancer, and then we're talking about what they're dealing with. So the next question is, how can cancer affect a person's financial situation? Cancer can really, if you are the breadwinner in your family and you're the one making all of the money, and you're the one making all the moves and everybody's depending on you, then your financial situation can definitely be affected by cancer. Finances and insurance also, those decisions come into play when you're thinking about working or continuing to work, because you need insurance in order to get your cancer treatment. So cancer can cause all kind of money problems, especially if maybe you have to go part-time at work because the treatment in your body is just not able to do it full time. Well, cutting down your hours can cut down on your insurance, or maybe even no insurance. So it's important to make sure that you're having those discussions with either yourself or in your employer to see what's the best way to go about it. When you're talking to someone that has a cancer diagnosis, and I think we talked about this once before, there is so many things that we should be cautious about when we're talking to someone that has a cancer diagnosis. It's always important to be encouraging to someone to that has a cancer diagnosis, just to make sure that you're not dampening their spirit. Don't give them any false optimism about anything. Just and stop telling them to be positive. Stop telling people to be positive, and just stop saying that. Because positive is not going to save their lives. Stop saying it. Sometimes just listening to someone, just listen to them. Just be like, hey, and let them talk. Let them lead the conversation. Stop always jumping in with stuff. Hey, girl, you look like you lost weight. You look like you pale. Stop making conversations about their appearance unless they start the conversation first. If they don't, then you have no right to. Stop doing that. Stop doing it. They feel bad enough going through the cancer. They know that their appearance has changed. They don't need you to keep saying it every time they see you. Stop doing that. Respect their privacy. Respect their privacy. If they want everybody to know they have cancer, they will tell everybody. If they have announced it on Facebook, and then yeah, if you see somebody and it's like, oh, I heard so and so have cancer, girl, yeah, I saw it on Facebook. But if they haven't announced it and they are being quiet about it, if they ask you, and then what you can say is, you know, I think that they should tell you. I think, that's their place to say what's going on with them. But I'll let them know that you asked about them. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. But don't go spreading somebody else's gossip or what's wrong with somebody else because it's not your place. Unless they ask you to help share their news, then you have no business doing it. Like I said, let them do it. Let them do it. Don't even try to justify spreading somebody else's news. What if that person cancer come back? They're not gonna be maybe like they were the first time. Maybe the first time they were, really optimistic and really just, in warrior mode and just like ready to go. And then this round they like, I'm tired. It's just too much. I don't even want to think about cancer, And now they more withdrawn. They, don't want to be bothered. They're not, all on Facebook sharing because they looking like, wow, I know that it's always in the back of the mind, but I really didn't think that it was going to happen. So be cautious about what you say to people, how you say it, and where you say it. Like if you're saying it in front of people and people are around and they can see you and hear you, nobody wants to be humiliated in front of people. They already feel ashamed or a certain way because of their cancer diagnosis. The last thing they need is every time they see you, you have something negative to say to bring them down, and you may not think it's negative, and then you will wonder why they avoid you. Like, I haven't seen so and so in a while. So and so, haven't been calling me or answering my calls. That's because they're trying to make sure that they don't have any negative energy around them, and they feel like you bring that, and so they keep you at a distance so that while they're fighting for their life, they don't have any negative energy around them. So I encourage you to be kind with someone who has cancer. Be patient with someone who's dealing with cancer. And you don't necessarily have to say anything to them. Again, allow them to lead the conversation. Allow them, you can ask, like, do you need anything? Or what can I help you with? How can I help you? Instead of just assuming all the time that you know what it is that they want. And then stop bringing up other things or other people who have been dealing with cancer and what kind of things they've been using to fight their cancer. Don't do that. Cancer survivors don't care. They don't want to know that. They don't want to know that Joe had cancer 2 weeks ago and he died. Cancer took over his body. They don't want to know that. They don't want to know about that. They just want to be in their minds. They want to remain hopeful. They want to remain happy. They want to have a sense of serenity going through this. And believe me, if you're one of those people that try to bring them down, and I'm not saying you do it purposely, they will avoid you. They will avoid you like the plague. And you will see them 2 years outside of their cancer diagnosis. You'll be like, Rochelle, girl, I ain't seen or heard from you in 2 years. Yeah. Hey, how are you doing? So just be kind, be thoughtful, be courteous, because you never know when someone that closer to you that may be dealing with it, or you may be dealing with it yourself. So don't just automatically rush into a conversation with them. Just hi. I'm glad to see you. And then allow them to open up if they want to even open up. So we have been talking about when someone you know has cancer. And again, we all know someone who is dealing with cancer or who has dealt with cancer. Watch what you say, watch how you treat them, and make sure that you make the environment comfortable for them. And if you are uncomfortable being around them, then ask them, if you're uncomfortable, and say, you know what, I'm sorry, I'm just uncomfortable. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to act. I just want you to know that I care. Be genuine with it. And they'll understand and they'll tell you. They'll tell you. So I appreciate you guys listening. Again, this is author and founder Lady Rochelle of Warriors Talk, and we are giving you 31 breast cancer awareness facts in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This is day 17, and we just finished talking about when someone you know has cancer. So join me tomorrow night on Warriors Talk, where we are changing lives one warrior at a time.